I grew up on Cape Cod in East Sandwich. I have 2 older brothers. My mother was a single mom. She was a respiratory therapist at Cape Cod Hospital. And she was kind of a unique character. She was a bit of a romantic. So she read books, she read poetry at home. We talked about ideas, we talked about heroes, we talked about themes, but we did not have real conversations ever. My mother was also kind of shy, so she was absolutely, as a mother, completely averse to conflict. So we never talked about anything real. We had all these lovely conversations, but never about real things. So because we had this house on Cape Cod, in the summertime, all the relatives would come to visit, the cousins, the aunts, the uncles, grandparents. There were always people floating through our house, right? And for my mother, who was shy, this was a little bit of a challenge. So she would admit that she would often go escape to my bedroom. My bedroom was upstairs. It was kind of small. It was cozy. It was away from things. And she would describe it as escape. She would go up there and have a little nap or read or something like that. So the summer of my 17th year, I, for the first time ever in my short life at that point, began to give my mother some trouble. Until then, I'd been a good student, I had horses, I did my homework, I went away to school, so I actually had some trouble there that she never knew about. So the first time she actually understood that there was trouble was my 17th year, the summer of my 17th year. I had my first boyfriend, and I would go out and I would come home late. So because we never talked about anything, this was never said. No one ever said anything, but there was a lot of tension in the air that summer. The one night I came home, and I came home late. I go up to my bedroom, and there on the nightstand beside my bed is my mother's list pad. There are 2 words written on that list pad: wash guilt. And I'm like, oh my God, my mother is nuts. Why do I have this mother? You know, why can't she just yell at me? Why can't she be waiting at the door, like looking at her watch? Why can't she put down a curfew? Why can't she just be like a normal mother? My mother has to leave the most cryptic message ever for a teenage girl, right? Wash guilt. What does wash guilt even mean? I go to bed somehow. I don't touch the list pad because if I touch that list pad, it means I have acknowledged the words. So I have to leave it right there. I get up in the morning, there it is, wash guilt. I go downstairs and I think, okay, she's gonna be in the kitchen, she's gonna say something to me, right? She's got it. How can you write those words and not say something, right? So I'm in the kitchen and I'm looking at her. And I'm thinking, guilt, you know, washing, say something. And she's just going along, doing her thing. And I'm like, oh, my mother is crazy. I have my cereal. And there is silence. Just we go along, have breakfast just like normal. Everything's fine. I get on my bike. I go off to my summer job. I'm pedaling along. I'm going, oh, wash guilt, wash guilt. What does that even mean? Like, why can't she say purge guilt or get rid of guilt, or don't be guilty, or be happy? Why can't she do those things, right? My mother has to leave this message. Things go on, I come home, she does not say a word. For about a week, that pad is next to my bed. And I have to come and go into my bedroom seeing wash guilt, right? It lives with me for at least a week. And my mother never says a word. I'm imagining she's just having me absorb this very short little sermon, right? So things are that way for about a week until they're not. One day, I come home, I go up to my room, I look at that list pad, and it says, wash quilt.